Business etiquette. If you are a sales professional, manager, small business owner, or executive, this is a very valuable informational tape. Every day in business, you interact with people. It is crucial to be aware of the importance of business etiquette and strive to use it effectively. The type of business etiquette that you will use will become a reflection of you and the business you represent. Your business and your product may be secondary to the way people feel about you as a person. Business etiquette lies within it the power that will make your clients more comfortable, thereby gaining trust in you and ultimately in what you have to offer. Dale Carnegie has quoted, 15% of our success in business can be attributed to our technical skills. However, 85% is attributed to people skills. Your actions are being observed and evaluated in a very short period of time. In fact, it takes only 30 seconds for people to form an impression about us. We are constantly being judged on our actions and performance in given situations. People will respect good manners, and people respect people who know how to handle situations appropriately. You must know how to do the right thing, but first, you need to know the right thing to do. You are the product. You must market yourself. If you are dressed to kill and you slurp your soup, your credibility is gone. Learn business etiquette and put your business in front. People do business with people they trust, and people do business with people they like. Make your clients trust and like you. Communication. What is communication? As a communication major in college, I was told that you have a sender, which would be you, and a receiver, which would be your client. What this means is that you want to communicate a message to someone. They receive your message and communicate back to you. Sounds simple. It's anything but simple. You need to know how to communicate what you mean in such a way that the other person can understand and perceive exactly what you intended them to. You can hold college degrees and have mastered a technical trade, but if you cannot effectively communicate or get your message across, your knowledge has little value. There are two types of communication, verbal and nonverbal. Verbal communication involves our speech. Learn to speak from your diaphragm and not from your voice box. Your voice will have strength and quality. Hold your hand across your ribs along the diaphragm and feel the difference when talking in this manner. To find out how you sound to others, tape record your voice in everyday situations. Put a tape recorder on your desk and evaluate how you sound to clients and to friends. What does your family hear every day when you speak? How would you feel about you if you were listening to your own voice? What does this have to do with business etiquette? Your first impression is so important because it can be taken positively or negatively by the use of your voice. You must always organize and practice what you want to say beforehand. You must be informed on local and national issues. And most importantly, you must be interesting to listen to. You must know how to speak properly and to avoid things such as you know, alls you do, and you all, to name some examples. People are impressed by knowledgeable and interesting people, and by people who are able to listen. People generally enjoy talking about themselves and love a captive audience. By listening to what they have to say, you will have made a lasting impression on them. 93% of how we are judged is dependent on nonverbal communication, 55% on our outer body appearance, 38% on body language, and 7% on voice. Use your nonverbal knowledge to make business work for you. Handshakes are the physical touch that accompany your words. Always stand for an introduction and shake hands firmly. Grasp the other person's hand completely so the thumbs are interlocked and the hands are completely within each other. Your handshake should be warm and friendly because it will convey your attitude. A limp handshake may say, I don't really want to shake your hand. A harsh, strong handshake says, I think I'm better than you. Pulling a few fingers on a handshake says, I'm afraid to touch you, denoting a lack of self-confidence. Covering a woman's hand with the other's hand is condescending. If this happens, ladies, step back gracefully. There is no gender difference in handshaking. If a person shakes your hand with their palms down, this indicates control. If a person shakes your hand with their palms up, this is a submissive handshake. Remember, there are no men and women in business. There are only business professionals. So shake a business professional's hand firm and straight. Avoid the stiff arm, knuckle grinder, arm pull, or dead fish handshake. Another form of nonverbal communication is posture. If you have good posture, you are sending a message to others that says, I have a good message and it's worth hearing. Good posture means head up, shoulders back, stomach in, knees flexed, and a confident chin. Top this off with a warm smile, known as the universal language of kindness, and you've made a friend. Your eyes and your face must be friendly. Did you know your eyes speak to others? Your eyes speak unspoken messages to other people. They can convey like or dislike, trust, credibility, excitement, sorrow, unhappiness, or boredom. If a person is emotionally involved in communication, their pupils will dilate when they receive your message. If they dislike receiving your message, the pupil becomes smaller in size. Have you ever had a conversation with someone who was looking around when you were talking to them? How did that make you feel? The whole purpose of business etiquette is to be aware and to know how to make people feel comfortable. Avoiding someone with their eyes will only bring negative results. Eye contact is crucial to be aware of when entertaining clients. In order for us to get to know our clients better, we need to be able to give them our undivided attention. This means listening to them with our eyes as well as our ears. Kissing is a subject that comes up since it has become a common way to greet people in business. My advice as a general rule, if the woman leads, fine. However, corporate kissing can be awkward and confusing. Why deliberately create a confusing and awkward situation? A word about personal space. When I go to exercise class, inevitably someone comes in late and stands in front of me, limiting my space. In an elevator, for example, people do not want someone to invade their space. People move away and stand on the corners of the elevator in order to not have to stand next to you. That's because they need their space. Keep an average of 1 arm's length away from another person as a general rule, and always respect the personal space of a client. Your personal belongings, such as a purse or briefcase, belong on your lap or a nearby table, not on your client's desk. The client will see that you are aware of their personal space and will lead you as to what is appropriate for him or her, and they will be impressed that you understood that this was their personal space. Business introduction. The best way to gain and hold the loyalty of your personnel and your colleagues is to show interest in them and care for them by your words and actions in everything you do. When you introduce someone, think about something you can say that will offer the two people introduced something to talk about. Joan and I play tennis together, opens up the conversation. Never allow someone to sit in a corner or feel uncomfortable for any reason. When dealing in business situations, you must remember that people need to be involved in order to be productive, and introductions will get people involved. Where did you play tennis? Thus, conversation begins. General rules of introductions are: 1. Introduce a person of lesser status to a person of higher status, regardless of gender. You must mention the most important person's name first. Mr. Grant, this is Miss Jones, our new district manager. Always look at the person you are introducing. Be confident and in control. 2. Introduce a younger person to an older person. Mr. Grant, this is my friend Jane Doe. Never respond negatively to your introduction. I've heard a lot of nice things about you. Not bad, I hope. This only gives an awkward beginning to an otherwise promising opportunity to open up a relationship with the person involved. It is always up to you to introduce guests to one another and to make people feel comfortable. Telephone savvy. Oftentimes, the first time you speak to a client will be by telephone. You will want your clients to feel positive about your conversation and about you. Your choice of words, tone of voice, and expression will be how you will be judged. Telephone company studies have shown that people in telephone sales do better if they keep a mirror by their telephone when they speak to clients. You do not want to look bad when you are looking in a mirror, so you smile, and that smile comes across in your voice to your client. Always give your name and the name of your company. Many times I have people call me and start talking. They assume that I recognize their voice. I have to say to them, to whom am I speaking? And that's not comfortable. Always be courteous to secretaries. They are the link between you and your client. Always thank your clients for their time. Be sure to keep paper and pencil near the telephone so you do not have to leave the phone to go get one, and you can be able to jot down pertinent business information. The subject of food. Before I speak to dining, I would like to give some information on setting the table. In the upper left-hand corner of the plate, the butter plate with butter knife is placed. If European style, the dessert fork and spoon would be at the top of the plate. Forks go to the left, knives and spoons to the right. Always pick up your utensils from the outside inward. If utensils drop, do not pick them up. Ask the waitstaff for another set. When the meal is complete, place utensils on plate. If you spill, use napkin and let waitstaff know if needed. Leave your plate where the waiter has placed it at all times. When dining in business, there are certain rules of etiquette. If your social graces are impeccable, the client will feel your products and services are equally impeccable. Keep in mind that sincerity and consideration help to develop a business relationship. Business breakfast. Business breakfast is a great way to start the day out of the office in a rested environment. You come to talk business and eat. Ask your guest to choose a location convenient for him or her. A general rule, the person who invites pays. The client is your guest. This means you take the lead. The check, the co-check, the tip. Give yourself enough time so that you are not rushed. Let the waiter know you will be receiving the check ahead of time. Be sure you look like you are there to do business, with a briefcase ready to take notes and communicate. Business lunch. If you are going to do business and eat, it is imperative you know the general guidelines for dining etiquette at lunch. Always let the client choose where they want to sit. The guest orders first unless they ask you to order. Most everything in dining is done to the right. Food is passed to the right in a counterclockwise direction, and the guest of honor sits to the right of the host in proper dining. Salt and pepper are passed together. Keep your hands away from the top of the shakers, please. Spoon soup away from you and toward the back of the bowl. Only cut one piece of food at a time. For example, break off one piece of your roll, butter, and then break off another when you are ready to eat another piece. Always wait for the guest to begin eating first. It is never proper to reach when it is so much nicer to ask for items to be passed. If you smoke, do wait until dessert is completed. Keep your napkin on your lap until you are finished eating. That signals the waitstaff that you have completed your meal. Follow the lead of your guest as to whether you should order a drink. A glass of soda with a twist of lime or lemon is always a safe alternative to liquor. Keep the purpose of being there in mind, to do business. People are more alert when they are not drinking. Remember, this is business. The client is your guest.
Please turn tape.